But we need to make one thing very clear. This program, it's not just about telling people that other families and other types of lifestyles exist. It's actually aggressively promoting them, giving it a positive spin, and telling people that it is okay for you to be Muslim and for you to be gay. Mr. Moffat, shame, 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 shame. Okay. Mr. Moffat, I did not want to make this personal, but Mr. Moffat has decided upon his own self to reinterpret our religious scriptures. And I don't know where he gets his religious education from and when he became Mufti Moffat. But our religious beliefs are not here to be changed. We don't send our children to school to be indoctrinated. That's the word that these parents have been saying again and again and again. This is an aggressive indoctrination that is going on that we are speaking against. If there was no aggressive promotion, then you would not have had all these parents come out on the street. And as I've said to you, this program is very toxic. Not only do we are aiming to have it abolished in this school, but we're going to have it abolished in every school in Birmingham, every school in the country. And that's going to happen with a grassroots movement of parents coming out on the streets. That is what is needed. Parents coming out and fighting their corner and fighting for their children's rights. And also just remember, we may not have had an issue if this was being taught to perhaps 10 and 12-year-olds or 15-year-olds. But for 5-year-olds who barely know how to wipe their bottoms, you want to teach them about relationships? It's disgusting, absolutely disgusting, and we're not going to put up with this. Are you going to put up with this?
I represent thousands of Christian parents, also people of no faith, who are so pleased that you are here. I am a historian. I work with a group called Anglican Mainstream. We are standing behind you. You are showing us the way. This is a parent-led movement. In many ways, we are here because parents have stepped back. Parents, your children need you now more than ever. You are their mothers, their fathers. You knew them when they were this big. You will know them when they're this big. You will know them when they are married, having children of their own. You're the only adult who will be that. Step up to the plate. Your calling as a mother, as a father, is the most important thing you'll ever do. Ever in your life. Because you will leave your children and grandchildren to carry on. So I'm American. I read the press in the US. They are following what you are doing. Please up your game. Yes, we're not against anyone. We are for toleration, kindness, respect, no bullying. But that does not mean no outsiders. So please up your game. I look forward to being with you again. God bless you and go for it. You are a world leader. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Lisa Rowland, who's come from far to be with us today. And I'm getting a lot of feedback from parents. They've said, you haven't mentioned this, you haven't mentioned that. And one of the things that I have to commend all the parents for is that last week we took 600 pupils out of this school, and you deserve a round of applause. This is absolutely unprecedented. Absolutely unprecedented. And if this was any other place, if this was a company where 600 employees walked out, they would have taken notice. But here, did the school take any notice? No, not interested. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna carry on with these withdrawals. I can see the kids getting happy, more days off. It means another sleep-in for the parents, a lie-in. Don't have to wake up early. Look, we keep mentioning again and again and again, there's a lot of our friends from the media here. This No Outsiders program is not age appropriate. We do not need to teach 5-year-olds about relationship and sex education. This is a conversation, a topic that is not going away anytime soon. This is one that we're going to be having for many weeks, many months, maybe years. And what we want is a respectable, rational dialogue and conversation. And what I want is all different groups to sit together and see how we are going to deal with this issue, because no one party can claim a monopoly on the wisdom on how to move forward. It needs a dialogue. It needs all different groups to come together, and we're prepared to do that. But what we don't want is to programs like No Outsiders to be rolled out against the parents' wishes secretly, and any consultations that did take place were just like a paper exercise where a couple of people were invited from the local masjid. I'm not mentioning the name of the masjid. And what do? They just come, have a cup of tea and go back, and the school thinks that they've rubber stamped their No Outsiders program. That is not what has happened. That is a complete and utter deception, and we are soon and very fast unraveling this program in this school. And as I've said many times, we are not happy. For God's sake, all these parents are not happy. Why is the school not listening?
We're in Parkfield School, Birmingham, which has made international headlines because parents are outraged at what they call the promotion of homosexuality at this school. It's a Muslim majority school, as you can see. Last week, the parents felt the school were not listening to them, to their concerns, and therefore they withdrew several hundred, I think up to 600 children from the school. The controversy surrounds a teacher called Mr. Moffat, who is openly gay and who has developed a program called the No Outsiders program, which the parents say promotes homosexuality. It doesn't just teach about different lifestyle, but actively seeks to get children to affirm that homosexual lifestyles are okay. And obviously, as we know in Islam, homosexuality is considered a major sin and is strictly forbidden. So this has been rumbling on for several weeks now. I came up to Birmingham a few weeks ago when there was a parents' meeting. And the situation seems to have escalated since then because the school seemed to be unwilling to address the concerns of the parents.
It is being used on your children as a de-radicalization tool. The school thinks, or Mr. Moffat specifically thinks, that your children are extremists and they need to have their beliefs changed. How disgusting is that? Mufti Moffat believes that your beliefs are wrong and he's out to change them. I can see that headline in the news now. Mufti Moffat.
He's the extremist. He's the extremist.
Parents are very angry. Parents, are you angry?
Yes.
Children, are you angry?
Yes.
We all are angry. We don't want to be standing out here in the cold. I'd rather these children be in the classroom. But we parents don't want to send them in the classroom if we think there's more danger and safeguarding issues in that classroom where children are being taught against their beliefs. We as a society are planting these seeds in these young innocent minds. There was a boy 5 years old who wanted to start trying a dress on. I'm not going to stand here and argue whether that's right or wrong, whether somebody wants to dress, whether a man wants to dress in a woman's clothes or a woman wants to dress in a man's clothes. What I want to speak up against is highly dangerous when we start telling 4 and 5-year-olds that they should start experimenting like that. This is a social engineering project which is being tried and tested on our children. As I've said, when people grow up as adults, what they want to do, they have a free will to do whatever they want. We will not interfere. We will not discriminate. We will not criticize them. It's their own choice. But what we have to safeguard our own children. 5 and 5-year-olds, 4-year-olds are being taught, go home. You may be, go home. A boy is being told, go home, try a dress. Because you may be a girl trapped in a boy's body, or a girl trapped in a boy, or I'm getting confused myself. Boy trapped in a girl's body, girl trapped in a boy's body, whatever it is. As I've said, as an adult, you have a free will to do whatever you want, but we should be very, very careful what we plant in the minds of young, innocent children. We should not be shy to discuss this matter. We should not be scared that we are going to be called bigots, because this is a very serious safeguarding issue that we as a country need to bring this out into the open and have a serious conversation about this, about the merits of whether we should discuss these things with young children, or do we just let children be children? Let children be children, that's all we are saying. We are not saying anything wrong.
So obviously these people have been accused of being homophobic and anti-gay. They reject that utterly and say, it's a free country, anyone can live whatever lifestyle they want to, but they object to having kind of homosexuality forced down their throats, that it's a good thing, that you can be gay and Muslim, that kind of stuff. So it's not about trying to get the national curriculum changed, trying to be homophobic. It's about basically minority groups being free to believe what they want to believe and not having to subscribe to liberal values. In terms of what the school is saying, they're saying that Mr. Moffat has been demonized, he's had death threats. This is Mr. Moffat, Andrew Moffat, the gay teacher who's promoting the No Outsiders program. And they say that we live in a multicultural society, a multi-lifestyle society, and therefore kids, including Muslim kids, are going to grow up in that society, and therefore they need to learn about different lifestyles. Yeah, just tell me about why has it escalated so much?
Because the governors, the head teacher, and the whole senior leadership team are refusing to engage with the parents. They're actually treating it with contempt. They don't want to know. They think these are uneducated, illiterate, uncivilized people. That's the contempt that they've got for these parents.
Yeah.
And they think they know better.
So what are you calling for? Are you calling for the senior leadership to resign?
Yes, senior leadership to resign. We're going to scrap the No Outsiders dangerous program because it's been designed specifically to alter the minds of these children.
Do you feel, brother, that the authorities are going to dig their heels in? They're going to say, this is a test case, these guys are homophobic, etc. We can't give in to them.
Yeah, because this has become like a battle of wits, who's going to blink first or concede defeat first. And what they want to do is they don't want to be seen as giving any ground on this, because if these parents get their way today, then it's going to be hard for them to push this to other schools as well, because it's causing and inspiring parents from all over the country to raise their voices, basically.
Final question, brother. How far are you guys willing to go? I mean, are you concerned that you're going to, destroy your kids' education, etc.? How far are you willing to go?
They're the ones destroying the kids' minds, disturbing them with all these ideas that they're putting in their head. So many parents have said they'd rather keep them at home than to send them to school to be educated in this.
Just like, okay. Let me get some of these banners. My child, my choice. Education, not indoctrination. That's a reference to what the parents see as a promotion of homosexuality. My child, my choice. A lot of people saying that kids from 5 years old are too young to be learning about sexuality anyway. Let kids be kids, reinforcing that sentiment. Say no to the No Outsiders program, which was the pro-LGBTQ program developed by Mr. Moffat. So Parkfield School is a primary school. I think about 800 pupils, if I'm not mistaken, and 600 of them were withdrawn last week in an unprecedented protest. Parents here are very determined, despite the fact that the authorities seem to be unwilling to cede any ground.
The campaign is growing, and we have we've now escalated to the 5 other schools have come into the campaign as well, across Birmingham, and in fact there are about 20 schools that are affected by this program, probably more, and the campaign is growing. I think we met.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the first meeting we had, and since then, we've now had our support is growing. The community is becoming more and more aware of its basic democratic rights and where it stands in as far as the law is concerned regarding the teaching of its children. Our parents have considerable rights over the children's education, but the school here, has dug its heels and it's not prepared to move.
Brother, I read, maybe I got this wrong, but I read that they have stopped the No Outsiders program for this term until they consult all the parents. Isn't that good enough for you?
Well, there are scheduled lessons that they have, and now there's a period of time where that schedule is empty. And that's what they're referring to when they say that they've stopped it. But No Outsiders is a pervasive program. It's been made into a school ethos, so it's actually taught. It's reflected in all parts of the school curriculum, and this is why you can't just say that there are a couple of lessons that we want withdrawn. It's the whole program that we need withdrawn.
Yeah. Brother, my final question is about the stakes being raised, because you've raised the stakes now in terms of withdrawing children from schools. This has gone national, international. You've been demonized on national TV, in the right-wing media. Where's this going to go? I mean, have you raised the stakes so much that the authorities can't back down now?
Well, it's really, for us, it's not an issue of whether we're being demonized or whether the authorities can back down or not. It's simply telling our parents what the truth is. The school has been hiding that. We are now telling parents in frank terms what the school is teaching. And if we're going to be demonized as a consequence of that, then so be it. We are not going to stop speaking the truth.